How did the SBA and the U.S. government lose over $136 billion in government-backed EIDL loans over the last 3 years? All right, so the EIDL loan is this very interesting program, and for most people, most business owners, you'd never even heard of what an EIDL loan was before the pandemic. And what it actually is, what it stands for, is an economic injury disaster loan. And so that's what the purpose of this EIDL loan is. And so what's crazy is, what's happening with a lot of people that have gotten these EIDL loans. So I'm going to unpack for you, how do you qualify for an EIDL loan? Who got EIDL loans in the last few years? And how is it that the government's just not going to be able to collect on about $136 billion of EIDL loans? And who are they not collecting on? If you're behind on your EIDL loan, or if you know someone who is, then this is going to be really important for you to listen, understand, and figure out how this is going to work. So first off, now we've defined what EIDL is. It's the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. Who qualified for it? Well, because of the pandemic, so many businesses were shut down and were negatively impacted by the pandemic. So all the small business owners had a chance to qualify for this loan, and it was based not on your credit score, and it wasn't based on having profitable business tax returns, but it was based on having your business set up in existence, in good standing with the state where you were located. It was also based on having had a prior business tax return in the IRS system. So in this case, the EIDL is actually lent out by the government. It's the Treasury, managed by the Small Business Administration. So those loans do actually come directly from the government, and it was really all about your business revenues in the year 2019, that is, and whatever you showed as your top line sales, that was the amount they would go with. Now, they started out, interestingly enough, with $150,000 was the maximum loan limit that they were going to lend out, and this was around 2020. And then, maybe a year later, all of a sudden it was $500,000. And then for special businesses, if you had like collateral or if you had a bunch of equity in your home, then you as a business owner might qualify all the way up to $2 million. And what they started to realize was that massive fraud had happened in this program, and people who maybe didn't have businesses, or they did, or they closed them down, maybe they had the business tax return for 2019, for those smaller loan amounts under $150,000, especially under $100,000, a lot of those were given out like pretty much to anybody, kind of the old breathe thing. If you can breathe, if you can fog up that mirror, you could get a loan to $100,000 for your business. And a lot of people did. And now $136 billion is going to be defaulted on. And so imagine Bob had this business. It was really struggling. He's kind of going to shut it down. He got a loan for $100,000 or less, and he hasn't been able to make payments. He's thinking about filing for bankruptcy. Well, at this point, here's the crazy thing. Bob might not need to worry about this because the government has just announced a few months ago through different sources. You can see this online, and we'll put the link in the description here. But the government basically said if the loan amount was $100,000 or less, it's going to cost us too much as a government to even try and collect on that and send out, hire attorneys and send out letters and get people to make phone calls to collect on that. So we're just going to give up on everybody who got $100,000 or less. You can just keep the money. Crazy enough, that seems to be what the government is going to be doing now. If you got a loan above $100,000, then they're going to be coming after you. And what that means is they're going to garnish bank accounts. If you have W-2 wages, they're going to be, garnishing wages as well, and getting, usually it's up to about 25% of your paycheck the government's going to start collecting on. And either you're going to pay that loan back very slowly, or you're going to file for bankruptcy, and that's what's going to happen with a lot of business owners. Now, if you're in that case where you are behind, you need to reach out and set up a payment plan, because they will set up payment plans. They just want you to be making some kind of monthly payment, so make sure you do that. So the bottom line is, as you look back, what's the learning lesson here for business owners is if you take out a loan, you better have a proof of concept that the money you put towards your business is going to generate a return, whether that's hiring somebody, buying equipment, whether it's doing a marketing campaign. You can't just, what most people do is they throw it at big things, or they spend it on things that don't actually generate income in their business, and that is the type of mistake you definitely want to avoid. and then just focus on income and still win. So there it is. That's the EIDL. That's what's going on. That's the update. Make sure that you're doing everything possible as a business owner to stay on top of these programs and generate a return with any loans you take out.